In today's session, we're going to unlock your fretboard. We're going to free your guitar to sing like the fallen angel it was always destined to be.
Hey everyone, today we're going to learn how to play one of these. It's great, guitar. I love my guitars and I'm a guitar enthusiast, but I'm not by any means a guitarist. I'm not even a good guitarist, I'm learning. But there was one key point, at which I had like a eureka moment, and now I've made loads and loads and loads of progress. So I figured what would be really great would be to share that eureka moment with you guys. Now I am sure that all of you, right, have done this at some point. Insert me playing something. Now all that is, hang on. Yeah, you see that? All that is a couple of hammer-ons, one string down each time, 3 times. One hammer-on, hammer-on, hammer-on. So take the string, play the next 2 frets up, and then next string down, 2 frets up, next string down, 2 frets up. Simple, and back down. That's simple. Everyone's done it because everyone's tinkered around and they've all thought, oh, this sounds okay. I'll play this with this and I'll play this with that. Now, this is the fun bit, and that's what I did for many, many, many years. And I spent a lot of time playing the acoustic guitar over there and being a real chord jockey and learning lots of chords and playing lots of songs, spending lots of time on ultimate guitar, doing all that kind of stuff. And it was great fun, but didn't really learn how to play guitar properly. Then I started learning properly, and I thought, hang on a minute, I'll go onto YouTube because there's a whole shed ton of brilliant videos out there for you to watch. And a lot of them, they talk about all sorts of things, like they talk about all the different scales from A to G and the different modes and major and minor and Phrygian and Mixolydian and all these kind of things that make no sense to you whatsoever. And everything goes all bonkers and you don't know what you're doing. And then you're starting to make progress and you sit with your guitar and you go, right, let's play that. And then you just, poof, your head explodes. And what I want to do is I give you that one little thing that unlocks all of those things, all of those other videos make sense. So I'm not going to repeat any of that stuff. I'm not going to go into what Mixolydian is and what Dorian is and what's the difference with any of those things. But what I'm going to do is tell you how you already, right, now this thing, see what I did earlier with the thing, with the hammer-ons and yeah, that little thing, go back and watch it if you weren't sure, but it's just a hammer-on, 2 frets up, down the string, hammer on, 2 frets up, down the string, hammer on, 2 frets up. Simple. Doom, 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 doom. Done. Easy. Yeah? I'll play it again now. Right. So, you get this. Now, if you haven't already done that, grab your guitar, go do it now. Pause the video, go do it now, and you realise just do the 3 hammer-ons. Go do it now. And then, you know what, don't even put, I'll wait. Right, now, you've done that. Now what if I said to you, what you just did, you can now play in any key, in any mode, with any kind of style of music ever, you already know all of those. If you think I was bonkers, right? You think I'd be an absolute nutbar. Well, it's not, it's absolutely true. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to explain that to you right now in really simple ways. So let's start by looking at the guitar, right? You've got this top of the guitar here. Can you see this one? It's basically easier. You see that one? Look at there, you count 1, 2, 3, you count there at 12 different notes, 12 different tones on the guitar from your one tone all the way up to the same one at like an octave high. Right, there are 12, right? I'm going to write that down, it's really important. There are 12, yeah, you can see that? There are 12. But hang on a minute. No, we don't need all of those, right? Because it's an octave. Oct is 8, right? Octave. So, right, 12, we miss some out along the way. Now, I'm not going to go through what tones, which tones and semitones you miss out and which ones, because you can learn all that in other videos. But I'm saying, there's 8. There's 8. Right, so we got that. Write that down. So that's really. But hang. No, because the top one, right, it's the same as the bottom one. This is so that's actually only 7. So seven notes you need to remember. So it's right there, that's really important. But hang on a minute. Some of those just sound a little bit pants because they're too close together, too close to the other notes. And when you play notes that are too close together along the side of each other, sometimes it sounds brilliant. A lot of the time it just sounds proper utter pants. So we're going to get rid of another 2 that are a bit too close to the others, right? And that leaves us with 5. 5 notes you need to know. 5 notes you need to know to play along with any piece of music. 5. That's not hard, is it? Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 notes. Hang on a minute. That thing you just did with your guitar back then. 1, 2, 3. Hang on a minute. That was 5 notes. And the top one, the last one you played, was the same as the bottom one. The first one you played. So that's 5 notes. So you already know what those 5 notes are. You can already play them. Wow. Hang on a minute. Those are the 5 notes. 5 notes. 5 notes of the pentatonic scale. Now, hang on, I've seen the pentatonic to scale charts. I've seen those pentatonic. I can't even talk now. Cut that bit out. I've seen those pentatonic scale charts on the worldwide interweb, right, on the tube of you, and they're way more complicated than that. They're all over the place. They're all different boxed forms and all these sorts of things all over the place. Now, what's with that? But you already know those 5 notes, right? So let me stick another little video in here that shows you just playing those 5 notes. I'll do it now. There we go, so that was really short, yeah? And that was just me playing those 5 notes. And that would have worked in any key, major, minor, or anything like that. It all kind of works through. So let's think now about how we get around the fretboard. Because you've played these hammer-ons, and that's all well and good. But how do you get from one how does that even make it all make sense? Well, the thing is, you're playing those 5 notes of the pentatonic scale, and you can play them in minor and major. It just depends on which one you start on, because they're all the same. If you play C, if you hook your scale, you see those 6 dots that you've got on your little box scale. I'm going to put a little chart here to show what you've got here. You've got your hammer on, bottom one, those 2, and then the next 2, yeah, and then the next 2, yeah. So you've got 6 notes that you're playing. The top one is the same as the bottom one, yeah, and those are the 5 notes of the pentatonic scale. That top one on the top left there, that one on that side, if you want to play in a major, then you get that one. So you find yourself, say you want to play in C major, you find yourself a C note, and then you make C, that top one in the corner, and then you play that scale and it all works. Try it. If you don't believe me, try it. Now, what if you want to play in A minor? Well, if you want to play in minor, then you make the middle one on the right your starting note. You find yourself a minor like A minor, and you put the A note in the middle on the right hand side, and you play the same thing, and it works. Don't believe me, try it. Now, hang on a minute. The A minor box is the same as the C major box. But if you wanted to play in like D Dorian, Just start with the Dorian is to start in with the one on the top right and then play along and it'll work. I think it just does. And it's wondrous. So now let's work out how this helps you get around the fretboard. I'm going to start being a little bit more serious now because this really made a big difference to me. Is this pattern of 6 notes that you have here is repeated over and over and over on your fretboard. And once you've worked out where that repeats and how to get from one instance of that to another, you can play anywhere on the fretboard, up and down, left and right, bobs it. So first of all, you know that the last note is the same as the first note. So if you've played this pattern already here, you can play it again on the top right there. See? I'm going to put that up there. Simple, just go through. Play it again. But also, if you come down a string and go up 5, the pattern repeats again. And that one repeats upwards along the same, and it keeps going and repeating down. And if you keep looking up the fretboard and seeing it all repeating down, then you know that this same 6 pattern is just repeated everywhere on the fretboard. And that's all you need to know, is this 6 box of 6 is your box of tricks. And that is going to help you get up and down your fretboard and along and up and down and everywhere. Because you can start here, you work out what key you're in, and you work out what note you're in, and then you can just go and jump from box to box to box to box to box to box to box. And it doesn't matter, because you'll always be within that pentatonic scale. And if it's a major pentatonic, then your root note will be the top left-hand one of that. If you're a minor pentatonic, then your root note will be the middle one on the right. And if you want to go Dorian, it will be the top right one. So I think that all kind of makes sense in a strange way. There's only one gotcha. If it uses the top strings, you've got to shunt it up 1 fret because the tuning. So your pattern will need to step up a fret on your fretboard. Right, I'll show you on there. So you need to go up a fret for the last part of it, or the last 2 parts of it, or the next part of it, because of the tuning on the guitar. So if any of your patterns go above that string, then you're going to have to shunt it upwards. Other than that, it works all the way along the board. Right, so I would encourage you to make one of these yourself. I've done it with a pen and some paper. I've drawn it out myself just because it's helped me to visualize the fretboard. So this thing, yeah, if you look in the middle, I've circled in, I've gone round in a dotted lines the patterns that make up the scales, and I've marked in the colours of the root notes of all the different types of scales, the minor in blue, the major in green, and you've got the Dorian, the Phrygian, the Lydian, the Mixolydian, they're all in there. Those little boxes are like little scales, those little scales that you can translate up and down the fretboard in each of the different modes. So the starting root note is the bottom one in that box, and you can use those patterns to make those scales, but these are all born out from those 5 notes of the pentatonic that we went through right at the beginning of this video. Give this a try. Promise you it will help. It's a great idea, and it really, really helped me. Hopefully it will help you too.